Hello all, I am Scott Grove. I'm here today to help with the very daunting task of answering just simply a request for a lesson. Somebody wanted to know how to simply tell when the chords are changing. You know, bass players, they're listening to the songs, they're not hearing the chord changes, they're not sure when to change. What chords to go to, how to play along with a real drummer or even drum tracks or anything else. So basically from square one, what the heck do I do? I've got a bass guitar, but I'm not hearing what I'm supposed to be doing. What is my role? I need all the inside information. Yeah, I've taken bass lessons, but I'm not getting it. Okay, so I'm going to make you get it. Okay, the thing is, basically, most bass players are trying, number one, to play music that is simply too hard for them right out of the get-go. Okay, so the best thing, whether you like it or not, is to take very simple 3-chord country music, and whether you like it or not, learn to play it first. Why? Because it simply establishes a foundation for you to realize, number one, that most of these songs are only going to have about 3 chords in them, so you only have to change, 3 times. But you actually get to hear everything. Everything is very basic, very simple, and it's not overly complicated like most of the stuff that you're probably trying to figure out. So you're letting tons of guitars and vocals and screams and synths and all kinds of junk get in the way of you being able to learn. Okay? So if you have something at your disposal, such as a drum machine or just an old Casio keyboard, like what I'm going to be using today to teach you with, that is the best thing you can have around. And then just go on YouTube and grab the oldest sounding country stuff you can get your hands on and practice to that first. The thing is that your ear is not trained to hear chord changes. You don't know when they're changing, what to go to. I have theory lessons. They're free also here on my channel for you bass players, and if you click below it'll take you right to my free lessons, and you can just go to the bass section and learn the theory and so forth. So free lessons all day long. Just again, click the link below that says free lessons, go down to where the bass guitar stuff is, and you can pick up all kinds of fun stuff there. So we need to get you to know all those things I said. When to change chords, how you can tell when the chord's changing, and then what to play over those chords, and how to play with a drummer. Okay, because you have to very much lock in to the kick drum or the bass drum. Okay, bass guitar and bass drum should be one and the same, and that is not saying that you can only play notes when the bass drum is hitting. Okay, that is saying that it is best to play on those bass drum notes, and you have to listen to the bass drum to realize exactly what the pattern is. Right now we're going to hear boom, ch, boom, boom, ch, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so that would actually imply basically this. Boom, 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 boom. So I'd be going, let me turn my bass on. Boom, boom. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, so you can see I can play other notes, but I have to play on the exact same times that the bass drum is hitting. So it is up to you and the drummer's bass drum to become one and the same. So when when you play with a real drummer, you listen to what his bass drum's doing, establish the foundation of what's going on, realize that you have to play on those notes. You can play as much or as little as you want in between those kick drum notes. So it could be boom, boom, boom. Okay, so the bass drum just didn't go bup, 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 bup. That would just give you some place to put in what is called a run. Okay, so to get started here, to learn how to, again, play along, we're going to start with the beginning, then we're going to go advance into learning when the chords are changing and how to hear them. Okay, like I said, when you have all this other stuff going on, meaning vocal, like I said, this is great. Keyboards such as this, or drum machines, especially keyboards, are great. You can pick them up for 30 bucks at a garage sale or a pawn shop, and they will do the trick. Okay, just plug them into your amp or whatever and jam along with them. There is no better way to learn, because these actually have the bass guitar tracks in them too, and you can learn basically what you're supposed to be playing by listening to it. I doubt that you can actually sound, hear the sound of the bass guitar within a song, because it's usually one of the most buried things in the mix, so it's hard to hear, because guitars you hear, vocals you hear, that snare drum you hear all the keyboards, you hear everything else, but sometimes it is just hard to pick out a bass guitar and what it's doing. Okay, so we're stripping everything away. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, I'm just using an old 1985 Gibson Designer Series Explorer bass, probably one of the longest basses in the world. Very cool. Okay, I'm just going to stick you in the key of C. Okay, so we're going to be going in C. Okay, this is what's just called a root fifth pattern. So you're playing the root and then the fifth below it, kind of like a tuba. And this is covered also again in my bass guitar theory video. Okay, so you're in C. If we go to F, we can either go to the low F, or you can go to the F that is straight down. Up to G, or the low G, and your fifth will always be up one string and 2 frets forward that way. Okay, so a full way around would be such. If I just go with just the bass drum, then we'll go in C. 2, 3, 4. F. Back to C. G. Back to C. Back to C. So I match it right up with the bass. Boom, 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 boom. F. Back to C. G. Back to C. So I did what was just called a little pickup note. Even though the bass guitar is playing more notes than the bass drum, that is fine, that's expected. Once you get better, you'll be going. Okay, so all kinds of fun stuff. There's a million things to do, but we have to strip it down, and this was the lesson that was asked for me to do. So I'm more than happy to try to help you hear it. Okay, again, whether or not you like country, it makes no difference at this point. I have to train your ear, you have to train your ear, and this is the easiest music to train your ear with. Okay, because there is not a lot of garbage in the way. Okay, So again, if you can, go get a little $30 Casio keyboard, or whatever kind of keyboard, as long as it will make drum beats. Or you can get my drum beats from me. I have them, $4, and you can download 60 of them that I made for every kind of music there is. And then this one has a function where I can actually put this in, go to the key of C, and you can hear a rhythm with the keyboard and the bass guitar. Okay, check this out. In C. Okay, now you can hear the bass. Boom, 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 boom. Listen. So there it is in its most simplistic form, and that's what you need to start off with. Your ear has to be trained. You can't just jump in the pool and start swimming. Music's not like that. Okay? And if you're asking for a lesson like this, then it's the best way to go. This really is. This is bare bones learning. Okay, again, that was strictly, like I said, that's country. This is old country. The new stuff sounds like, you know, 70s and 80s southern rock stuff. But find the old country. Not the old country like over in the UK. No. Just the stuff that's very easy to distinguish the bass parts. And again, if you can grab an old keyboard like this, do so. That has that kind of technology, which they all do, that you can actually learn to play right along with. It gives you the bass line to listen to. And between my lessons and all the other lessons that are free or purchase-wise, but you can get so many free ones on YouTube, you never need to pay for a lesson. It's just hard to find a good teacher. That's about it as far as when it comes to free lessons. Even the paid ones, it's hard to find a good teacher. Okay, so again, right back to that. I want you to, again, listen. I'm going to do it in the key of F this time. This is the second chord we'll be using. So now it will be F, C, F, C, F, C, F, F, C. Okay, because it's going boom, 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 boom. Okay? Okay, but I'm going to the low F, then C, F, F, C. Okay? So let's do that. Get our drum beat. Okay, here comes our pattern. Music maestro. Okay, we're going to do it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, 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 boom. Now switch up to the F here. Boom, 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 boom. Now listen. Boom, 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 boom. That's your bass guitar. Boom, 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 boom. Now listen to it without the music. Boom, boom, boom. Listen to the bass drum. Boom, 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 boom. Now let's play with it. Okay, so that is just boom, 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 boom. If you're working with a drum machine or a drummer, these are the basics that you have to work out with each other. Okay, again, the F. And like I said, yes, you can add other things in, as long as you are hitting this every time. So just the basic stuff, and you can add in whatever you need to. Okay, but you have to, the bass drum, the bass guitar, they are the basses, and they have to stay together. You can't be even a fraction of a millisecond off time-wise. You have to be dead on it, just boom, boom. It can't be both of you going boom, 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 boom. You know, it just sounds like somebody tripping, or a horse, you know. Everybody needs to be hitting those notes at identically the same time. So nothing is a better teacher than your foot. Okay, you'll just be sitting there tapping that foot, just boom, 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 and keep that foot going, boom, boom. If you can see my feet, boy, they're just a tapping. So don't be afraid to tap your foot or shake your butt or whatever you got to do to keep in time. Okay, so you are now listening to what the bass guitar is doing. Okay, I am going to play a 3-chord pattern, C, F, and G, on this keyboard with the rhythms going behind it. Okay, so now you asked me to try to help you determine when the chords are changing. So you can't hear the chords changing. Okay, that again is just something that you have to train your ear to do. And there is nothing better in the world, period, than training your ear on 3-chord, whether it be old rock and roll stuff, but which will give you more problems than the country stuff, because the rock and roll stuff, and I'm talking rock and roll like 50s, okay, but you will get bass patterns like this. Okay, so you get a lot of movement going on. That is later. We have to walk before, or crawl before we can walk. So here comes a 3-chord pattern. I want you to listen for when the chords change. This is how you develop an ear. Again, a $30 keyboard from any garage sale, flea market will help you more than any other thing you can possibly invest in. This is the way you learn. Okay? Trying to jump in, try to learn songs right off of a CD right away, or whatever you're trying to learn it from, that is just going to get you so lost. Okay? You honestly have to put yourself through this. I myself am a country music nut, but a lot of people just really hate it for whatever reason. I think there's 2 kinds of music. There's good music, there's bad music. There was somebody that said an old joke once, they say that country music is supposed to speak to a man's heart. The only problem is it has to go through his ears to get there. So, but you have to give it, it's a great learning tool. Okay, so find some stuff that is very easy to listen to and very easy to hear what the bass guitar is doing, and that is very easy to tell when the chords are changing. The simpler the better. Get something like Family Tradition by Hank Williams Jr. Okay, that's one of the best songs you can grab to take care of this. Family Tradition by Hank Williams Jr. It's E, A, and B all the way through. Okay, so get that on YouTube and play with that song. A lot of great tunes just like that, but they're just so easy. Okay, so here I go. I want you to tell if you can tell when the chords are changing, other than the fact that, hey, I've got my keyboard on the bottom. I got 3 keyboards over here, but the one I'm using is just out of eyeball's reach on reason, or on purpose, on reason, so I can switch keys without you seeing me changing the chords. So I'm just going to play C, F, and G, but maybe not in that order. Okay, so your job right now while I'm playing this is to try to, okay, you know the 3 chords, you can play just the root notes, meaning C and F. And I might go back to C, to G, back to C. But try to follow along with your bass guitar with those 3 chords. So C, bum, 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 F, and G. There will be nothing else other than the bass player on here is playing the roots and fifths, meaning going then F, then G, back to C. Okay, so it's going to be that easy, but I have to train your ear to hear the chord changes. Again, it's oversimplistic because your ear is new to playing. You haven't had to listen to music other than a whole. It's just a song that you've heard before. Okay, now you have to figure the songs out. So you have to, your ear and your mind have to do a whole different thing that you're not used to. And this is where it begins. Okay, that's why I'm making this and breaking it down so simple, because it has to be. You have to start somewhere, and this is where you have to start. Okay, this is the beginning. Okay, so you have to start somewhere. This is better than anywhere else to start. So here I go with the drum beat, and I will start with the C chord, and where I go to from there is anybody's guess. Okay, so the purpose of this is for you to hear when the chords are changing and try to switch chords between the C, the F, and the G, and try to realize when they are switching. Okay, that's your only job. Try to play along with those 3 chords, try to figure out which one's which, but it will always come back to C. The song is going to be in the key of C, so it always comes back to the key of C. Okay, so I will start in C. Then it's your job, again, to figure out whether it's F or G I went to and when the chord changed. You will be able to tell very easily with everything else gone. It's a beautiful thing. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. how simple was that? Okay, it probably wasn't simple for those who don't quite still know what's going on. Okay, so you have the luxury of going back and checking that out over and over and over again. Surely at this particular point you were able to tell, like I said, without all the other garbage, the singing, the guitars, the everything going on, when it was changing chords. And knowing that there are only 3 chords to the song, this should make it easier. And again, quit trying to play all the fancy stuff. You don't need to right now be going back and doing it's like you're not ready for it yet if you're asking for these lessons. Okay, so those were C, Fs, and Gs. I will tell you what they are now. I'm going to play the same pattern, and you can go backward because you can simply put your cursor on the part that I just played and go back and practice with that. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to tell you what the chords are out loud in case you need the help. I'm not going to leave you stranded. Okay, so again, practice along, and again, play boom, 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 boom. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so in C it is 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, F, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, C, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, G, 1, 2, F, 1, 1, 2, C, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Now those are what's called split bars. Okay, what I did there with the G down to the F, I was going G, 2, then F, G, F, 1, 2, okay, again, G, 2, then F, 1, 2, then back to C. Okay, so that's called a split bar. A bar is a count of 4, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, then F, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, back to 1 bar, C, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so I split up the bar. So a bar is a count of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That is what is called a bar. So a split bar was what I did from the G to the F. I split it in half. I went 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So the G got 2 counts, 1 and 2, and the F 3 and 4, then the C 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so there will be split bars in here, and I will yell these out. Okay, so I'm not going to play the bass. You get to. I will yell the chords out. Listen to exactly what I played just now is what you're going to play over every chord. So the bum, 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 bum. Okay, you don't have to get any fancier than that. We need to start from the ground up. Okay, so that's where we are. We are on the ground. Again, here's your pattern. Listen to that bass drum. So it's boom, 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 boom. The bass drum is your friend. Boom. You guys have to act like you're married. The bass drum, the bass guitar. Boom, boom, boom. Again, boom, 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 boom. What's the other drum? That's the snare drum. So it comes between them often, especially in country. And like I said, this is the most simplistic form of music, so it is the best to teach you it. Okay, so again, I'm going to yell out the 3 chords and when to change in case you got lost earlier. Then you can go back. Okay? Okay, we will start in the key of C again. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, C. Stay in C. ready to go to F, 3, 4. Back to C now. Here comes the split bar. G, F, back to C. Now back to C. Boom, 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 boom. C, boom, C. Get ready to go to F and F. Boom, boom. Going to C. Boom, boom, boom. Split bar. G. Now F. Back to C. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so here. Boom, 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 boom. Going to F. Boom, 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 boom. Back to C. Boom, boom, boom. To G. Boom, boom, boom. F. Boom, boom. Back to C. Boom, boom. Okay, now by yourself. And C. One more time through. Okay, so I'm sure you did great on that one, so you can hear the chords changing. Now, are you always going to be able to tell the chords changing this easily? Not until your ear gets used to hearing this. So I cannot stress enough to, yeah, listen to whatever you want, but when it comes time to practice, your ear needs to be trained. You cannot be taught to just jump in and start playing like crazy. It is impossible. Okay, you have to have this kind of background or you simply cannot play, especially if you cannot hear chord changes and know what chords they're going to. It's hard to tell that at the beginning. It's a foreign language. It's like just going to France and somebody expecting you to speak it the first day. You can't do it. It's going to take a while. Okay, so how do you know what chords are in a song? That is again, it's very easy to tell what chords are in a song. And again, I have a lesson on that. Okay, and it will tell you what chords will more than likely be in a song, especially country music and old rock and roll. So I want you to work on advancing from music like this and then going to like 50s rock and roll music. Okay, Johnny B. Good, you know, stuff like that. You know, the Chuck Berry, the Jerry Lee Lewis, the Big Bopper, you know, just a lot of that stuff was just very, very simple. Again, 3 chords, but a different style of bass part. How will you know how to play the bass parts? Me and a million other teachers are here online to show you how to play the parts to these kind of songs. But you have to be able to hear the bass player underneath all of the garbage that's going on around it. It's not garbage, it's music. Everybody has their own part. but the bass drum, the snare drum, and you on the bass guitar are the backbone behind everything. Whether or not they can hear you so much out front is not extremely huge. I mean, it would be a wonderful and perfect world, but for some reason everybody always makes the bass player turn down. But that's what gets people up and dancing and shaking, is bass drum and bass guitar. They want to feel that booty rumble, so rumble that booty. Back to this, let's just get to a different key, just for fun, and a different type of rhythm here. I am going to, let's find something very normal in the rock type of mode. Go to a very simple rock pattern. Okay, let me see what we have here. Okay, basic rock. Let's see what kind of music the big Casio keyboard gives us. Okay, I'm going to stay in the key of, no, let's go to the key of G. See what we got. Okay, so it's just doing this. So in G. Okay, that's all the bass is doing, just boom, da, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so here's the drum beat behind it. Okay, if you listen real close, here's the bass drum. So it's doing a hard one, soft, hard, hard, soft, okay? So it's going boom, 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 soft, hard. So it's like hard, soft, hard on the bass drum. Hard, soft, hard, hard, soft, hard. But it is doing. So that's what's keeping you going boom, 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 boom. Because he's going hard, soft, hard. So you can do that hard, soft, hard, or you can accent each one of those like it's doing on the track. Okay, so let's play with it. Here's the beat again. So if we were just playing that G, it'd be just like the track. 2, 3, 4. Here's the track. Okay, so here is where it gets harder to hear. Okay, because we are in rock and roll, and all of a sudden you're hearing, the very sad sounding guitar from a Casio here, but you have to listen for that bass, man. It's hard. You have to hone in on your own instrument and the bass drum and block everything else out. Okay, you have to concentrate at this, a lot at first, and you have to block all the other fun stuff out and just go boom, boom, boom. It might bore you to tears for a 10-minute jam, especially like blues. You just might be for 10 minutes while the guitar player is getting all the glory, but you're a bass player and this is your job. Okay, so again, here on this particular track, okay, so the 3 chords which you are going to find, here's this basic secret, are going to be what's called 1, 4s and 5s. And again, just go to my channel, go to my free lessons. I teach you how to figure out which chords are in songs. But a 1, 4, and a 5, so we are in the key of G. So that's the G. Okay, the 4 is straight down. So the next string down, but on the same fret. That's C. What's called the 5 is 2 frets up from there. That's your D. Back to the 4. And then back to 1. Real quick for you to be able to figure this out. This is simply done via what is called the major scale, which is nothing more than do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You know. Okay, so if you can check this out, I will do it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time, really slow. And here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is 1 again, because you just started here, ended up on G again up here, it's just an octave higher. So 8 equals 1, so there is actually no 8. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why am I doing this? Because watch where the 4 and the 5 land. Here's 1. That's always going to be the key of the song that you're in. So we are in G. So that's where you're going to start. 1, 2, 3. There's the 4. So it's 1, 4, and 5 here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So that is how music is put together. 1, 4s, and 5s are the kinds of songs you need. Again, old country and old rock and roll from the 50s. Okay? 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 1. Okay? So, case in point. Okay, so I'm going to do the same here, and I want you to strictly ride, which means stay there. Don't deviate by going. You're like, well, if I could do that, I wouldn't need you. Well, you get all that stuff from my lessons too, and everybody else's. It's not just me that gives the lessons in the world. But hopefully this is going to help you. If it don't, you know, it's going to help somebody else, I hope. Okay, so again, the drum beat. 2, 3, 4, and G. Now we're going to go to the 4. Drop straight down. Back to the 1. To the 5. To the 4. To the 1. Try that again, okay? With the numbers. So 1. To the 4. Back to the 1. 5. 4. And 1. Now with the music. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1. actually what's called the Nashville number system. I have a video on that too, of course, but so many times I've been on stage with a new band and I don't have to know the songs when we go on stage. Okay, lead singers, whether they be guitar players or not, but they tend to know, especially in country music, the Nashville number system is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's all from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is very, very helpful to know, because you can hold up a finger like that behind your back, so the singer just acts like he's got his hand in his pocket, so he can stick, you know, his hand back there and just be singing this way, but be giving the chords to the band by using numbers. Okay, I know you don't want to see my booty, but yeah, you're back there, you're doing 1s, 4s, and 1s, and 5s, and 4s, and 1s. Okay, but people do things that way. If you see a hand back there, a lot of times that's what's happening. I've got it way up here so you can see it, but people just think he's just, you know, cool, but he's actually, then a 2 would be an A. Why? Because we'll go in G and again 1, 2, hey, that's an A chord, hey, what do you know? And generally the 2s, 3s, and 6s are minors. For anybody who's a guitar player who's listening, but bass players, yes, minors are important too, and that's in a later lesson. So hopefully so far this has helped you try to distinguish when chords are changing. You can hear them changing, you hear what the bass is doing. Right now it is very simple, but it will get groovier. Let's find something where a bass is doing a little more, and let's see what we have here. This one here in the key of G is doing, I know it's a stupid sounding thing, but it teaches you something. And there goes my guitar chord. Okay. Okay, so the bass is playing what are called in this case we 8 notes. So there are 8 notes for every bar. So when I was doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so it's actually going 1, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the bass drum is doing. Listen to all that. Boom. Which would actually be okay, so it's doing so much boom tap boom boom tap boom boom tap boom boom boom. So the bass player decided to give up. No, not give up, but just going. Okay, so that is actually hitting every single bass note or bass drum note that's going, plus a couple more, plus you're adding a little bit of extra flavor now. It's not just or just going like we were before. What it's doing here is doing the G up here. It's an octave higher, so you're 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is actually back to 1. So it's just G here. Okay, so here's a 5 right above it. So your 5 can be, here's 4 down. Okay, so here's your 1, 4, down 1 string, 5, 4, 1. Okay, now in country, your 5 is also up here, but it's also really easy to find because it's right here above your 1. So 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. That's what's called root 5th. Root is the chord you're in, root, then the 5th, the 5, root, root fifth, root fifth. So that's what it's called in country, just root fifthing it all night long. Root. Okay, so this is doing the root. So it's going to the 5. So up here to the D, and then 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8. Okay, that's the whole riff, as they call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then G again, then D, then up to F, back to your 1 or your G. How did I figure that out? I just listened to it. Okay, I've been doing this for like 40 years, so I just happen to know this. How do you get to figure it out? Same thing, you get to listen to it and you get to figure it out. But if you have theory behind you, which is very, very important, just the major scale, beyond that, no more scales, who cares? I don't think anybody should learn them personally, other than the major scale. Especially for bass players, there's just no need in it. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so here we are. We're going to play it by ourselves. You play it with me in a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just you. Here comes the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do change chords here for you, which I'm going to do. We're about the end of our hour here, so I'm going to go from the G. Boom, 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 boom. When I go to the C, okay, or the 4, okay, remember the easiest way now, since we're playing up so high, we're not doing this low G, because we don't have another string unless you're playing a 5-string bass. But so now we're going to want to dip down to the C or the 4 instead of going and getting in guitar territory. Our best thing is to find a 4, which is lower. So here's your 1, 5, remember root, 5th, and just down 2 is 4. So to do the same thing there. Back to 1. Now 5, 4, back to 1. So you use the exact same pattern all the way through. You can add to it later as you get better, but you have to listen for what he's actually doing. And to come up with what is happening, you have to do trial and error. Okay, that's just the way it is. But play simple songs where you can hear the bass. Don't try to play something that is out of your league yet. You have to progress up to your league. Your ear will let you know when you can actually pick out the notes and actually hear what's going on and listen to that bass drum. Okay, listen to what the bass guitar is doing, block everything else out, listen to the bass guitar and to the bass drum and see how they are working together. Okay, so I'm going to play those 3 chords. Okay, so the G, and then the C will be your 4, back to 1, G, and then your 5 is the D, then your 4, then your 1. Okay, so I'm going to play that right now for the last couple minutes that we have of our lesson. Alright, so here comes the drum beat. And 1, 2, 3 to the 1 and here comes the 4. Back to the 1. Now I'm going to stay on the 5. 4. Back to the 1. Okay, now we'll start over now. 1. And stay there. Go on to the 4. Back to the 1. Go into the 5. 4. Back to the 1. Okay, now I'm just going to show you the numbers like this. Okay, here we go. Stay on the 1. I will be quiet now. Once again, Scott Grove. I hope that helped out for the person who asked to be able to tell when the chords change, what the bass drum's doing, what the bass guitar is doing, and hopefully my suggestions will not go unheeded to where you will actually listen to old country stuff. Again, Family Tradition by Hank Williams Jr., E, A, and B. You can go to even the old slow stuff like He Stopped Loving Her Today that has a chord change in it by George Jones. Might be cool for you to check out. But things like that are the way to start. Okay, just very minimal music and you will be able to hear everything. Then progress up to the 50s and then come and see some more of my lessons. Okay, you guys take care, and again, hope that helped. Thank you very much and happy playing.